Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today is Tuesday and I can already tell you that it's the start of match day 4 in Serie A, because today we are already expecting 3 games, Milan, Inter and Roma. We have to wait one more day to see our boys back on the field. Juventus Spezia in our home, second game in a row in our home after the draw of Roma. No excuses, we have to go for the 3 points. A game that probably we will not have Leandro Paredes because we are still waiting for his arrival at Juventus. We'll speak about that in that video, but also without the young boy. We are speaking about Rovella that is that close to go to Monza. Apparently everything has been done, so we'll speak about that, about transfer market, all the players that are leaving to make some space to new players. 2 more days of Calcio Mercato, hot decisive hours. We start immediately after you. And I ask you kindly to put a maximum of like. Let's reach a maximum of like in that video. After you subscribing to the channel, we start with Gazzetta dello Sport, who is speaking already about the derby of the weekend, the derby della Madonnina, Lukaku versus Leao. But this time it will be without Lukaku because injury of Lukaku. Lukaku that will miss, apparently not confirmed yet, but it looks like he will miss 6 games. Just to tell you that the injuries are not only at Juventus, but it happens in a lot of teams. We will come back on the injuries, but they're also speaking about Leandro Paredes, and that's what I want to start the video with, because they are saying Paredes volatona Juve. Paredes decisive hours for the player transfer to Juventus. Like Tuttosport is saying, Paredes l'ultima chiamata, the last call. It's really the last call because we have 2 days, otherwise it will be a no-go. So to explain you, today there will be again another meeting between Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus. The things apparently has changed. Paris Saint-Germain, that were absolutely agreeing to give Paredes to Juventus on loan with an option to buy, are changing the deals. They are saying, no, now we want an obligation to buy set at 15 million. That you will probably tell me, Beppe, 15 million is absolutely nothing. Why is Juventus not just going cash money? Well, if you go with an obligation to buy, that means that the player will be yours. Whatever happens, an injury, or that the player is not playing well at Juventus, you never know. Are we confident about the player? Absolutely yes. We trust him, we think that he can be the regista, but with all the mistakes that we did, like Ramsey, like Arthur, for example, just to give you 2 examples of the recent past of Juventus, Juventus wants to be extremely prudent and cautious, so they want an option. Paris Saint-Germain wants to be flexible. They say, okay, an option, but then with really easy bonuses to reach. So that means if, for example, it's an example, if you reach a qualification for Champions League, it becomes an obligation. Or if he plays 20 or 25 games, it becomes an obligation to buy. Where Juventus is really not agreeing with that, because they said, no, we had a deal for a loan with an option and not an obligation or a kind of obligation. So the tension is really high. Like Mohamed El Shahali is reporting the words of Matteo Moretto, who's saying the source have confirmed that today there will be a decision that will be taken between 2 clubs. There is a lot of tension a few hours before the end of the Mercato. The player really wants to go to Juventus. So the player, he said no to all the teams that were interested in him. So Juventus will have to take a decision together with Paris Saint-Germain. But we know that Paris Saint-Germain is a club that we can count on. I'm not sure, especially if we look what they did to their young player Edouard Michou, because Edouard Michou, there was already an agreement with Sunderland. This weekend he was in UK to watch the game of Sunderland. That should have been his next team. Everything was agreed, but last minute Paris Saint-Germain, they decided to change a clause in the contract where Sunderland said, no, because that was not the deals, we will not accept. Michou is back in Paris to train with his teammates. He will probably not go to Sunderland, and this is why I'm not 100% confident today that Paredes will join Juventus in these last days. So hot hours, decisive hours, but we have some signs that are going to the direction that Leandro Paredes could become a Juve player in the next few hours. So pay attention, notification ring on, because it can happen at any given moment of the day. Romeo Agresti is confirming that Rovella, the number 13 that impressed a lot in these 3 games, in the minutes that he plays, well, he will join Monza on a dry loan for 1 season. A loan, no options, no obligation. After that dry loan, he will come back at Juventus. Why? To give some space in that midfield that we are speaking every single day about, that we have too many players, and these players, they might suffer playing minutes, playing time, and that's why we are giving them the chance to play with continuity. Rovella will not be there, but also there is Fagioli, also him, in discussion to go on loan to Cremonese, the team that he played for. It could be Cremonese, it could be Sampdoria, we will see, but he's also a player that will not be at Juventus this season. Also for him, expected a dry loan for this season. Expected a meeting to close the deal on Wednesday, so we are speaking about tomorrow. Tomorrow could be the last day of Fagioli at Juventus for this season. Not only the young players that unfortunately we have to sacrifice, but also some players like Arthur that is blocking a lot the Mercato. Arthur could go to Sporting Lisbon, even if Lisbon said we are not convinced, because he's not having the moment of his life. Even if you pay the full salary of Arthur, we have to take decisions. We have to take a decision and think about it. We are not 100% convinced about the guarantees that the player is giving to us. So there is also the French team, Nice, that already signed Ramsey, that is now on the Brazilian player. Will he leave? Juventus is working in that direction, but also the entourage of the Brazilian player are working to make sure that Arthur is leaving Juve on loan. On a full signing, we don't know, we will discover it. But match day 4 starts today. I already told you, 3 days today, 3 games today, Milan, Inter and Roma. My feeling, it's a feeling, is that Milan will win. Inter without Lukaku will also win. Attenzione to Monza. Monza that could potentially today go for the first point or points in Serie A. So a draw or a win of Monza is expected, at least according to me. Other big games, well, we have to speak about Juve versus Spezia. The other ones, we don't have really a big game in Serie A. So for the people that are playing Fantasy League, try to think really well who you want to put as your captain. We continue with Corriere dello Sport. Lukaku ne salta 6. Lukaku will miss 6 games, but not only the injury of the Belgian player. For Inter, there is another Belgian player, this time from Milan, that also him has a small injuries. We are speaking about Origi, but also Rebic. So 2 players for Milan, 1 for Inter that are missing some games. As I told you, we are speaking a lot about the injuries of Juve, and they are not okay, and we have to find a solution for that, because it's not okay, but it happens in every single team. After Zaniolo, after Wijnaldum, this time we have also Inter and Milan with some injuries. They are also speaking about Pogba. Hey, not about when Pogba will be back on the field, but about all the story with his brother. So if you are looking at the page of Corriere dello Sport, they are speaking about Mercato, Ronaldo, Osimhen. They are speaking about the players' injury like Milan, Inter. They are speaking about the beautiful Spalletti and Napoli, about all football. And then when they speak about Juventus, they are speaking about some controversial topic. It is what it is. Tutto Sport. Di Maria punta al Paris Saint-Germain. Di Maria is putting Paris Saint-Germain as a target. Does that mean that we will see the player only in Paris on the 6th of September? No, we can already see him a bit before, because he's training. Yesterday in the training session that we saw on YouTube channel of Juventus, we saw him taking part partially with the teams to some exercises and already doing quite well. So we are expecting him to start playing versus Fiorentina already, to get some minutes to be ready for that Champions League game. But the option to see him already tomorrow on the bench is alive. Small chances, but is alive. So how will Juventus play versus Spezia? We have 2 different lineups predicted. That doesn't mean that it will happen like that. A 4-2-3-1 to give some continuity to Juventus with 1 change. It means Rugani back at the center of the defense with Danilo on the right side, and Miretti remaining on the field as a starter after the beautiful performance of Roma. Could be an option with Alexandro resting, that De Sciglio is going on the left side of the field, so turnover for Alexandro. Could be an option there, but there is also another option that we will talk about in a second, because if we play that 4-2-3-1, it will be important to give these balls to Vlahovic. Why? Because Gazzetta dello Sport is giving us a double article, or the double page article today, because they are saying that Vlahovic is the 2nd best strikers in terms of average ball touches per goal. Vlahovic, in the beginning of the season, he needed only 19 touches before scoring a goal. So 19 touches of the ball per goal. He already scored 3 goals. So if you are doing some mathematics, you understand that he needed 57 touches to score already 3 goals. Better than him, only Erling Haaland with Manchester City, because he needed only 15 touches to score 6 goals. So 15 touches per goal. Incredible. Incredible Erling Haaland. The third player there is Lewandowski. What does that mean? That we really need Vlahovic to touch some balls, because when he's touching the ball, most of the time he's going on target and he's scoring. Yesterday there was the presentation press conference of Arek Arkadiusz Milik that said, yes, I am humble. I forget about the past, what I did at Marseille and so on. I will have to prove myself here at Juventus. The occasion of my life. I was dreaming about such a club with great infrastructures, but then he also said I can play with Dusan Vlahovic, not only being his sub, because I already did it with a player like Lewandowski. Speaking about Lewandowski. So tomorrow there can be even more rotation regarding the games of Fiorentina and Paris Saint-Germain. So versus Spezia, we could potentially go towards a 4-4-2. What is the benefit of that 4-4-2 with Arkadiusz Milik in the starting 11 is that we are rotating a lot of players and resting a lot of players, because we can see that Alexandro can rotate. We have Rugani back in the center of the defense. Rabiot, after the cramps of Roma, could stay on the bench with the double players in the midfield, like Miretti already played last year in under 23 next to Locatelli. Kostic will be not anymore in that 4-3-3, but a player that has more easiness to go up and down on the left side with Quadrado on the right. I'm expecting a lot of surprises. One of the surprises that will not happen is Rovella, because he will go to Monza. We have some birthdays to celebrate today. Simone Pepe, mamma mia, one of my fav number 7 of Juventus. What a player, Simone Pepe. Happy birthday to him. But also Vladimir Jugovic, the one that scored that winning penalty in Champions League. Grande Vladimir Jugovic, that is celebrating 53 years old. And then let me take a moment to say happy birthday to our Vice President Pavel Nedved today. 50 years, mamma mia, that's a really beautiful target, a beautiful year, a beautiful celebration. We know that he went into controversy. If you want to know what my takes were on that, I spoke about that in the live of yesterday towards the middle of the video. I don't want to spend too much words on that. I want to focus on the good things. 4 Scudetto, 1 Ballon d'Or. He brought so much to Juventus. He remained with us in Serie B. He's doing a really great job. I love him. I have nothing to say. He can do whatever he wants. It's not my problem. Today, you can't see it, but I am wearing his shorts to his shirt to celebrate his beautiful birthday. Guys, it was that for me. I don't know if I will be live or not today. Maybe yes, maybe no. Tomorrow, I'm traveling to Torino to watch the game live. Grazie, forza, Juve.